All right, here we go. Texas Motor Speedway, Dickies 500. 500 miles, 334 laps on yet another mile-and-a-half racetrack. Second consecutive day we've done so. We raced at Atlanta yesterday where we had our worst finish of the chase, which wasn't just the top 5 or top 10 because we started 6 for 6 and winning the first 6 chase races. No, we unfortunately had 0 speed. We finished 3 laps down and in the 36th place position, dropping our points lead from 164 down to 34, which means coming into tonight's race, if Jeff Gordon beats us by a few positions, he's going to end up with a points lead going into the final 2 races of the season. Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. were also able to close that gap just a little bit as we get closer to the end of the year, also the most laps. So, 4 guys going for 1 championship. We got 2.5-mile tracks left this season here today at Texas Homestead. This is not my bread and butter, but the bread and butter is definitely going to be the short track race at Phoenix, which is coming up tomorrow. We'll see how today goes. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't done so yet. Let's get on with this one here today. Haven't qualified yet, about to do that right now. Hopefully all goes well. I don't think I'm going to qualify that great. We've got a lot of downforce in this bad boy. Because yesterday I did not. I need grip. I need grip and I have to not hit that apron so I don't spin out. Because I've done that once in the last 2.5-mile tracks. I came back at Charlotte, but I didn't have the car to do anything like that at Atlanta yesterday. And I don't think I'm going to have the car to do that here today at Texas. I finished 11th at Texas earlier this season. And I did not lead a lap in that race. And actually, he didn't even credit me with a lap led yesterday, but I didn't deserve it. So I'm all right with that. So we did not lead a lap in yesterday's race at Atlanta. We just have to have a decent finish today. At least give ourselves a chance. We should dominate Phoenix. So if I'm down by at least, I want to be within 15 points of Jeff Gordon. If he takes the points lead after today, I want to be within 15 points of him. I had a really good lap going there till right in the middle of 3 and 4, and I just kind of walked up the racetrack just a little bit. 22nd on lap 1, but I definitely think I can get better on lap 2. The near perfect turns 1 and 2 there. Can we replicate that down in 3 and 4? And better than what it was the lap before. 29.899. 18th, only 4 positions better on lap 2. I knew I had something to be had there. I still think I could have done a little bit better, but honestly, I don't think I would have had much for the guys at the very front of the qualifying order. Jimmy Johnson's starting 15th, so he's not that far ahead of us. I saw Dale Jr. was in the top 10. I didn't see Jeff Gordon initially, at least. I'll have to wait and see where he starts. Dale Jr. is on the pole. Jeff Gordon third. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Jackson Robinson, Ethan Chewett, thanks for tuning in. You guys are the first in the chat down below. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Let's win a championship. Can't do that this evening, but we can certainly lose it this evening, so we got to make sure we don't do that. Green flag is in the air. We're underway here for the Dickies 500 at Texas. Don't hit the apron. Jeez Louise. Luckily, I was just getting up to speed there. I have more downforce in the car than I did earlier in the season. We have to survive the race at all costs. I'm flirting with disaster down on the bottom of the racetrack. I just got to get settled in. I think my nerves are high right now. Yeah, settle in, settle down. That'll be all right. A lot of 2x2 traffic out and in front of us. First 2 laps of the race are led by the pole sitter, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Big run to the bottom of the track here for Blaney as he looks to the inside of Paul Menard. Passes are not easy here at Texas, let me tell you. Gonna look to the inside into turns 3 and 4 as well here for Dave Blaney. Nudge, but he was able to clear Jeff Burt for 17th. Michael Waltrip, Bobby Labonte side by side. Big run for Blaney inside of Martin Truex Jr. I'm really trying not to hit the apron. I think I need to tighten the car up a little more. I feel like it just turns too easy. Might be a little too free. Lancelot, thanks for tuning in. Survive, survive. Yeah, I know. That's the motto of today's race. Just survive. Dale Earnhardt Jr. still out in front. Fine with that. Don't let Jeff Gordon lead. Earnhardt's in the championship hunt, too. He's 119 back. Jimmy Johnson's 134 back. And you can outscore one driver by as many as 156 points. So that's kind of the magic number when we leave Phoenix tomorrow. Is who's going to be within 156 points of the title going into the finale. Fastest lap of the first 5 that last time. Following Martin Truex Jr. right on by the 43 of Bobby Labonte. Big run for Blaney off the exit of turn 2. Drives it in really deep down into 3 and 4. Going to try to pass 2 cars in the same corner. It does. 3 wide pass made up to 13th. This is good. My car is definitely handling better than it did yesterday right off the rib. Long race, yeah, it is definitely a long race. I am nervous though, honestly, because I don't know. I don't know what to expect in this one. Good move to get by the 199. I'm definitely passing cars that I think out-qualify me, that I have more pace than, so that's good. Up to 11. 29.739 that last lap. Kevin Harvick under Jimmy Johnson battling for 9th. "48 days to the Daytona 500. It's coming up soon. Barely over a month away from the Clash. I feel like the off-season's going by pretty quickly. All things considered, most off seasons I feel like kind of drag when you get through the holidays, so we'll see how January goes. Battling door to door with Johnson. It's amazing how much we slowed each other down running side by side for just one corner like that. Johnson able to hold on to the position. I couldn't commit to the throttle as soon as I would have liked to. Really try not to make contact and start burning the tires off the car early in the run because I get out of shape. OX 24 at the end of January, yep. I will be doing live commentary for the Rolex 24. I haven't announced it on the community tab yet, but I have mentioned it on stream a couple times the last week or so. There will be a live commentary stream. All 24 hours right here. I have to make this chair comfy, but not too comfy so I don't fall asleep at like the 19th hour or something. Thinking whoever is working for Porsche, Penske. Yeah, as a Penske fan, guess that would be my routine interest in the race. Always try to pull for any NASCAR guys that may be racing in there, past or present. Dave Blaney running in 11th right now, exactly where he finished at Texas earlier in the season. Caught Jimmy Johnson. I had one look underneath him, but haven't been able to get a clear pathway to get around him. Busch, big block, and he just sailed it off into turns 1 and 2. It's going to cost Johnson a position because he got into him as well. Definitely upset the 48 more than the 22. That was a gutsy move by the 2. Favorite driver is Logano. Well, congrats on his championship win. That was way out of the gas there. First lead change. Matt Kenseth out in front of Dale Jr. College hockey team won. Overtime. Oh boy. Yeah, we're going to hit the wall there. That was the first I had to deal with being on the outside lane at all. Even though it was just the second half of the corner. Kurt Busch with that crossover. Jimmy Johnson's not going to get underneath the 22 car also. Enough of a run on the exit of turn 2. We're going to be able to just clear him into the corner. Barely. He's trying to pick us behind his teammate Brian Vickers. Blaney's up to 9th. Johnson did get through as well. Big blocks being made here by Kurt Busch in the 2 car. Busch drives it in deep into the corner. Sails it off. He's trying to get him to overdrive it, but I had to get out of the gas a ton because I had the same angle he did. And I don't even know how he kept it off the wall, to be completely honest. I thought that's exactly where I was going to go if I tried to commit down there. He's blocking every move I tried to make. Even when we were both behind Johnson, he was doing the same thing. I have way more to lose than he does. I'm in a compromised position here. There we go. Got up underneath him off the exit of turn 4 initially there. It's side-by-side traffic. Mayfield and Harvick as well. A little bit of a slide going off into the corner. Here we go. When he got by Busch, he's going to get by Harvick, and now right behind the 19 of Jeremy Mayfield. Johnson still following him through the field. They are making moves. Good to see. Trying to block this 48 car. I really do think Johnson's quicker than me. I wouldn't have gotten back by him if it wasn't for Kurt Busch. $119-1, that is garbage. That's gotta suck to play on that team. Johnson is in the championship hunt. I'd say he's one of the 4. After him, I don't know if you could go any further back. Mathematically, the top 9 in points could win the championship still, but obviously very unlikely for 5th through 9th. And we'll definitely eliminate more drivers from title contention mathematically after today's race, and progressing forward, obviously, as we get closer to the championship. Jeremy Mayfield was not clear. Doing the same thing Kurt Busch was doing, just crowding us even though he's not clear of making contact. Up to 6th. Dale Jr. back out in front, so Kenseth and Earnhardt are the only 2 drivers to lead so far. Still picking Priest. Talk about for the Clash. Is that your Clash pick or your 500 pick? I can't remember. I think he said the Clash because it kind of races well for him, if I remember correctly. Hey, man, I'll hold you to it, and if he does win, what a call. Months in advance, too. I don't know if we have anything for this top 5. I'm not really reeling them in. I don't want to make any adjustments to this thing and potentially make it worse either. I'm willing to settle for something like this. It's already lap 26, caution free in the early going. I believe Elliott Sadler's in second behind Dale Jr., then Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, and Matt Kenseth. If it's not Sadler in second, I definitely know that it's Stewart, Gordon, Kenseth in that order, 3rd through 5th. Take a Priest for the Clash. Kyle Busch is the Daytona 500 pick, tentatively. Yeah, he's my pre-Speed Week prediction for the 500 as well. I'm taking Kyle Busch. May change my pick. I have until the start of the race to do so. Usually don't like taking practice qualifying, or in the case of the 500, dual predictions. Or there are cars on the track, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to take Busch for right now. I should probably start doing pre and post, like qualifying practice predictions, just to see how that varies throughout the course of the year. And then where both drivers run throughout the course of the race instead of just the one prediction. The one prediction will still be my main prediction. What am I thinking for the Clash? Honestly, for that, I'm probably just going to take whoever qualifies on the pole, because I doubt there's going to be any passing. I don't think there's any logic for me to pick in that race. Whoever's good at qualifying on shorter, flatter tracks, maybe like a Kyle Larson. Christopher Bell is usually pretty good qualifying on those kinds of... Well, it's probably not even Well, see, I don't know if it's going to be a random draw deal or if it's going to be... Well, I think they're supposed to have, actual qualifying for the race. Hit into the wall there. Johnson going to get by us for 6th. I don't expect anybody outside the top 2 rows to win the race. I'd be shocked if that happens. I mean, you look at even last year's races on those shorter tracks. Hamlin on the pole for the Clash won it. Joey Logano on the pole for the All-Star race won it. Shorter, tighter, flatter tracks, hard to pass on. That's my strategy. Whoever's on the pole, that's my pick. Trying to intimidate Jimmy Johnson so we can get back around him. It's not happening. A little bit lower. Through turns 1 and 2. Might have a run at him going into 3 here. Yep. Got off the corner just well enough. And we got 6th place back. Only 1 spot behind Jeff Gordon, and he hasn't led any laps yet. I'll take that. We're in a good spot right now. Did a great job after starting 22nd to get up to 6th where we are. Halfway through the fuel run, lap 35 currently. Going to try to go as far as we can on fuel for this first run, of course. Last one was the 3rd game of the season. It's like the Pistons last year. I think they started 2-1 before they lost at like however many games in a row they ended up losing, like 29 or 27 or something like that. I don't even remember. I remember them setting the record. Most consecutive losses, but yeah, they won their first 2 games and that was it. Gordon's starting to lose the top 4 just a little bit, and it almost feels as if Johnson and Blaney are slowly reeling him in. A year ago today, the Pistons had their 3rd win of the season. That's brutal. Because it's pretty far into the season. Post-Christmas NBA games and you've just finally got your 3rd win. It's tough. Trying to widen the arc off a little more through turns 1 and 2. Slightly lower exit than that of Jeff Gordon. Blaney doing what he can. Trying to close this gap. Got a run down into turn 1. Driving it in really deep. Sailed up the racetrack a bit. Middle of the corner. I'm kind of all right with running a middle to upper line here and there because at least it keeps me away from the white line on the bottom of the track because I'm honestly petrified of it. My biggest fear in this race is going to be that apron. I cannot go to the back of the pack because of a spin. Or wreck. In general, and cause damage and hurt this car in any way. Knock myself out of the race potentially. We don't need any of that. Too late in the season. This too treacherous of a racetrack. At this point in the season. But here we are. Got a run on Gordon. Looking low into turn 3. Oh, wow, I used him up there. Slow both of us up. Here comes Johnson. Jimmy to the outside of the 22 of Dave Blaney. Blaney's now going to have to fight hard just to hold on to this spot. A little bit of contact. It's amazing how much momentum that stalled us out with. Both front tires wearing off quite a bit here for this 22 car. Definitely going to have to be a 4-tire stop. Try to get another run after Gordon. Blaney desperate to make this move work. An aggressive line through the middle of the corner, just can't hang with it. And here comes Johnson to the inside as he looks to take his spot back. But Blaney trying his best to hold on, and does. We've been behind Gordon for quite a while now, probably about half a dozen laps since we caught him, and just cannot get to the inside of the 24 with enough of a run to carry that into the next corner and try to complete the pass. And now up against the wall off turn 2, and that's going to hurt Blaney. Johnson again to the outside, and this time he clears. Pushing maybe just a little too hard too early. There's nobody anywhere close behind us, at least. Johnson's reeling in Jeff Gordon. Gordon was holding me up, but you got to understand why. I mean, we're both racing for a championship against each other here. Dale Jr. leading the thing. I'll tell you what, he goes on and wins this race, leads the most laps, and me and Gordon finish, around where we're running right now. He's going to eat into that lead quite a bit. We'll see if the 24 or the 22 can lead any laps when we get into green flag pit stops. It's another reason why I want to stay out of the pits as long as I possibly can. Try to get those 5 bonus points. We were never up towards the front of the field at all at Atlanta to get this opportunity. We didn't lead any laps yesterday. 5 points is huge. And especially if Gordon were to lead, I'd like to cancel that out if we were to both lead laps. 29.735, fastest lap of the race for Blaney. Car's a little free still getting down into the corner. I felt like it's slowly kind of tightening, man, I can't talk. Slowly tightening up the longer we get into the run. Still a little free on entry. Center off can be tight at times as the tires are getting older and older. Blaney with a run. Might have even gotten a little bit of a draft off Gordon on the back straightaway. He was running the inside, and that allowed for Blaney to get by Jimmy Johnson into turns 3 and 4. Trying to get the run at Jeff Gordon, a 29.6 flat that last lap. Passes to the race for the 22, and he's going after Gordon very next corner, and he's got him for 5th. Had to take the advantage of the momentum we had, but he's going to be in the wall, and contact Gordon ran in the back of him. We're all right. We're all right. I don't know where Gordon went. Oh, is he pitting? No, he's not pitting. Never mind. I thought he was pulling down to the bottom of the track there. That was a moment. I did all I could to try to clear him. I cleared him cleanly, and then when I hit the wall, he ran right into the back of me and got hung up on one another. I felt like an eternity. We were just kind of glued together there. Couldn't get off of him. Well, NASCAR didn't actually have a night race at Texas or Atlanta at this time period yet. But I think you can purchase on the chase plates night races for certain tracks. Well, you definitely can. I don't know if this includes as one of them. I really don't remember. It seemed to be like there's a lot more of a variety of being able to run night races at tracks that didn't actually have lights at the time. Well, I guess there's lights because you can see them. They ran night races here, just not for Cup, I should say specifically. Because I believe the truck race was at night, which is why there's lights. IndyCar obviously was racing at night as well around this time. Scraped the wall 3 times now. Twice in the last couple laps. Yeah, Gordon was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. It was a bad time for me to get up against the wall. It's so hard. I mean, I cleared him cleanly, but I don't know what else I could have done to try to make the pass without hitting the wall or making contact with him and at risk of obviously wrecking like we nearly did. I don't get back into the gases soon. We're side by side off the corner. He probably clears me down the back straightaway. Just because I'm not going to be carrying nearly as much speed, especially being the car on the bottom. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Up against the wall again there off turn 2. We're losing time. This car's definitely getting tight. I think I'm going to make an air pressure adjustment. Jeff Gordon's pitting early. Somebody else on pit road looked like Tony Stewart as well. Dale Jr.'s catching the back of lap traffic right now as the leader still. Kenseth led for a few laps, but Dale Jr. by far has led the most. Gordon pits early. Stewart's on pit road early. I don't want to mess with the wedge just because it is freer at the beginning of the run. But yeah, we're going to make an air pressure adjustment. Sadler leads now, and that's because Dale Jr. just hit pit road. 5 bonus points for Sadler, who's one of the chase drivers. There's Tony Stewart. It'd be interesting. It would... I mean, it'd probably be hilarious, but at the same time, like, it's not... I don't know. I've seen other people do it before, so it's definitely something that has been done. I mean, you literally can't do anything. Like, the challenge would be to, like, make a lap, essentially. Or what's the fastest lap I could do blindfolded? Because if there's just other cars there, it's going to be a crapshoot. Just cleared Dale Jr. getting into the corner. Who was the leader. Jimmy Johnson's out getting bonus points for leading laps now. I'm going to pit this time. I don't want to lose too much time to the cars around me. Definitely have an adjustment to make. Looks like Earnhardt's still going to cycle out in front of Elliott Sadler, so Dale Jr. should be the leader. Here comes Blaney into the pits. Two pounds of air pressure all the way around is what we'll go with for right now as our first adjustment of the race. Get the bonus points. And Johnson was still out on the racetrack, even when we pitted. Mario Kart. I don't even have a console that would have that. Was that usually just like in a Nintendo Wii? I don't think they had anything like that for PS2. They had other Mario games for PlayStation I can remember growing up, but I don't remember that Mario Kart was one of them. Man, we're going to be pretty far back in traffic. It was a clean stop by way of not making a giant mistake on pit road, but our picker is just so much slower than everybody else's. Time was most certainly lost. Dale Jr. is back in the lead. Johnson hit pit road a lap or two after Blaney. We're going to cycle into 11th. Nobody on pit road leaving this time. So, yeah, 11th place here for Dave Blaney. We were in 7th when the pit stop started. Already feels more free than it did before. I have played Mario Kart before. I think my sister actually had a Nintendo DS growing up. When I had my PSP, she had a Nintendo DS. So I've like played Mario Kart on that, and I'm pretty sure I've been to like other people's houses that had a Wii growing up and played Mario Kart on there a couple times too. I've definitely played it. But I've never physically owned it myself. Sadler just took the lead away from Dale Jr. within the last lap or two. Lap 67 here today at Texas. A 7.1 second gap between us and the race lead. Definitely catching cars here. Jeremy Mayfield is falling back. Man, I feel like I'm stuttering a ton on this stream. I don't know what's going on. I apologize for that. He's slipping on my speech again. Lab car Reed Sorensen also in the mix. He might have held up Jeremy Mayfield and allowed for Green to get by him. Mayfield gets by the lapper. And we're about to get by Mayfield for 10th. Clear. Clear, all clear. 8.5 a second of this lead away. I think the air pressure adjustment might have been the right call here. Lenny with a run on Kurt Busch. Looking low, but not going to actually get underneath him before getting into turn 3. Thought he was going to take it 3 wide under Harvick and Green. He did not. Pass for 9th. Oh, we got trouble. I don't think that's what it was for, though. Caution came out right as Kurt Busch was drifting upwards, but that was not the reason for the yellow. That was so weird. Oh, man, big wreck off turn 4. 141 car on his roof there. Well, he got hit on the roof. That was right in front of the leaders. Caution flag is out. We're not far after pit stops. Yeah, everybody's going to stay out of the pits here. This will punch the field back together. Our first caution of the race. Couple cars a lap down. Green flag back in the air. Sadler still the leader. Lap 76. I don't know who exactly that 141 car is. Some fantasy driver. And he just spun on his own. That was right in front of Dale Jr. Who was, I believe, in second. We did not fire off well in this restart either, because those top 8 cars in front of us just pulled away immediately. Oh, I almost... Come on. Come on! I wrecked that thing like 3 times before I actually wrecked it. It just would not stop sliding. All those skid marks on the bottom are from me. Oh, that's the spin we didn't need to have. Clearly, I'm at fault because I'm driving the car, but at the same time, I kid you not, that little bit of contact got me so sideways. And I would overcorrect, and it felt like I had it under control again, and then it would just, like, randomly want to steer back to the right. I think it's because I clipped the grass. I thought I had it saved, and then when I clipped the grass, it felt like the tires were just sliding again. Back in the wrong direction across traffic, and I clipped Brian Newman just perfectly that it just lazily spun the car out. Green flag back in the air, now we're back in 80... Well, lap 81, back in 40th. I said I'm in 81st. It feels like it. Oh, my goodness. We've got time, and I've got a good car. I've got a top 10 car, at least. But for the second day in a row, things are just not going our way. Off to the rear I go, yep. Here I go again on my own. That's not my actual singing voice, by the way. Not that my actual singing voice is probably any better, but just throwing it out there that wasn't it. I didn't feel like trying to blow everybody's eardrums out. I can't hit those high notes anyway. Every time I think of that song now, I always think of those Geico commercials. Wasn't it Geico? Yeah, it is Geico. It's one of the dudes on the motorcycle. You know what? It actually might be Progressive now that I think about it. I think I'm starting to think about it too much. People prematurely pit. Well, I can't do that. AI drives me under caution, so otherwise I would. It's going to take us a long time to get through all this. Kenseth back in the lead again. 3 different drivers. Oh, Jeff Gordon! Jeff Gordon, I believe, has just blown an engine. He's slow on the bottom of the racetrack. Boy, we dodged a bullet. Oh my gosh. I'm not as nervous anymore. Jeff Gordon is out of the race at Texas. His first not top 5 of the entire chase will come in the third to last race of it. And The door is swung wide open for Dale Jr. and Jimmy Johnson if Dave Blaney can't get back through the field. Although we have a much better car than we did at Atlanta, so I definitely think we can at least get a decent finish out of this still. I don't even think I have a top 5 car, but I have a top 10 car. And one of the top 5 cars is out of the race, so that also helps. He is not going to lead a lap either. 0 laps led today for Jeff Gordon. Sterling Marlowe might have hit the wall there. Dober Monster getting by us. We have to try to cross him over. Just enough room down on the bottom through 1 and 2 to do so. Michael Turner, thanks for tuning in. What about Clint Boyer? Oh, yeah, that's right. He did sing it. That's I forgot about that. Wasn't that on a commercial back in the day where he was karaokeing? I completely forgot about that until you just mentioned it. Nick 2019 champ, thanks for tuning in, by the way. Yeah, I completely forgot that commercial existed. I'd like to think I could sing it better than Clint Boyer, at least. That's probably what most people would say, and then if I actually knew what my voice sounded like from, like, outside of my own ears, you're like, yeah, that's pretty bad. By the 10 car of Scott Riggs. Here's that 141 car that brought out the first yellow, which in the chain reaction of events, unfortunately, kind of caused us to spin on the restart. That's not the sole reason, but if it wouldn't have happened, I definitely wouldn't have had that incident with Ryan Newman. So here we are, 27th. Thank you, whoever you are. I do think the car is better from what it was before with the air pressure adjustment, though. So, well, maybe I can be a little bit quicker than a 6th, 7th place car like I was early. And again, one of the cars that was faster than me is out of the race, so that's good. That'll also help us. And it just so happened to be the guy who we were competing for the championship with, Jeff Gordon. Which might widen this thing back out yet again for the points scenario. The first contact I had with Waltrip, I couldn't keep the car straight, so I kind of let it drive down towards the apron entering turn 1, and obviously having that angle, I ended up hitting him again. We didn't wreck, though, so that's good. Everything's all right. Everything's all right. And we'll keep Gordon in the championship if I don't get a good finish. He might fall back to 4th in points, too. Depending on what kind of a day Johnson and Dale Jr. have. They both led laps already. Dale Jr. has actually still led the most up to this point. If we go out and dominate Phoenix, you know, just get out of here with the top 10 today. Grow the points lead out a little bit more over Earnhardt. we're going to be in a really, really good spot going into Homestead. Need to capitalize on this with Jeff Gordon's misfortune. J.J. Yaley just a little loose there. Open up the window of opportunity for Blaney to make the pass in turn 3 for 22nd now. Almost 100 laps into the race already. And we're roughly an hour into the stream. 2 cautions in the early going of today's race. Dave Blaney right back to where he started. 22nd place. It's been as high as 5th. Yet to break through further than that in the running order. .579, fastest lap of the race for Dave Blaney. Locking Jeremy Mayfield down to the bottom of the racetrack. Barely holding that spot. Going to get to the inside of Truex, following Kurt Busch. Kurt's probably going to be a tough pass. He's been blocking me a lot in this race. Well, maybe not. All right. Got underneath him anyway. It was way easier than I was expecting. Hamlin in the 11 car blocks. I couldn't hold that. I had to lift on the front stretch. That first kink, I couldn't keep the car pinned all the way to the bottom. Really doing my best not to wreck. There we go. There we go. Tried to get him to overdrive the corner. That's how you make a pass here at Texas in this game. They're going to block you. Just let them. Neither one of us were perfect through the corner, but I was better than he was. Pass made for 17th on Jeff Green. Door probably going to be open to get underneath Kyle Busch, who was stuck on the outside after Hamlin and Biffle got by him through 1 and 2. Blaney's clear, and that was for 16th. Big run for the 22. 3 wide underneath the 16 and the 11. Passes made on both cars up to 14th. We're moving. Definitely a far better spot than we were yesterday. Just ourselves alone, not including what happened to Jeff Gordon. That was just an added bonus. Clipped the apron pretty bad right in the middle of the corner. That time through 3 and 4, lap 105. All right, we'll let Mark Martin try to drive it in deep. There we go. Go, go, go. Ah, I was too far behind him that time. It's my path to getting by cars here at Texas. Full stop to him off the exit of the corner, though, able to side draft the left rear corner panel and make the pass on the other end of the track through 1 and 2. So in the end, that still ended up working. Just took me an extra corner. And now up to 13th. Tony Raines is going for 3 straight top 10s on 1.5 mile tracks. He had one yesterday at Atlanta and at Charlotte 3 races ago. Here he is in 12th, going for 11th on Joe Nemechek. Just in front of us, our tires are really starting to fade this point in the run. We're past halfway through this fuel run currently. Blaney just to the inside of Nemechek. Got him. Slipping by Tony Raines as well. Dale Jr. is actually back to 5th right now. Wow. That was an aggressive move there for Casey Kane. He wanted to get to the bottom quickly. Kenseth in the 17. He's falling back. He's about to fall out of the top 10. Former Texas winner. Back up to 9th. Casey Kane, Tony Stewart against the wall. And up to 7th. Got 2 birds with 1 stone there. Works for me. I don't care as long as I'm not the one touching them. Looks like Jimmy Johnson's in 3rd. He moves forward. Looking for 2nd underneath Newman. And Blaney to the inside of Harvick for 6th. Big run to the back of Dale Jarrett. I feel like I'm getting better and better the longer the run goes now, which wasn't the case on the first run. The air pressure adjustments have made this car so much better than what it was. And it was good before, but I think we actually have something now. Johnson finally going to get by Ryan Newman. Should completely clear him into 1 and 2. Dale Jr. doing the best he can to try to hold Blaney behind him. Johnson going for the lead for the 2nd time today. He led in the middle of green flag pit stops. Now he's going to lead for real as he's out in front of Elliott Sadler. Ryan Newman falls to get back into 2nd, and Sadler's in 3rd. Cuts Dale Jr. off before Jr.'s got a time to get underneath him in turns 1 and 2 there. Sadler to the inside of Newman. It's going to be our pathway to try to get by Dale Jr. Nope, never mind. Oh, now he's sliding to the outside, trying to take the line away. He hits the wall. I lifted to keep it off the wall. I should have just hit it with him. Look how much time I lost because of that. No, don't do that. We're good for now. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what it is. I think my head's gotten bigger because this hat, I think, is cutting off the circulation of my brain. I think it's giving me a headache, honestly. I took it off earlier when I was wearing it because I was kind of starting to get a headache. And it went away. Now I'm starting to get a headache again. It's very faint. It's either the hat shrunk or my head got bigger. It's not like I threw the hat in the washer or something, so it definitely didn't shrink. Junior back out in front. Really is catching a second wind. Yeah, we're getting closer to the next pit stop. Lap 118. Quarter tank of gas left this point in the run. And a move to the inside of Elliott Sadler. Sadler up the track. Contact with Ryan Newman. Both cars up the hill. I just sailed it off into the corner. Using both of them up. Up to third for Dave Blaney. They definitely got the worst end of that stick. I was committed after they made contact that I was making those passes. And it works out. And just like that, Dave Blaney's up to third, only behind the guys who finished second and third in yesterday's race at Atlanta. Johnson and Earnhardt, they both led laps that race. Blaney did not. Blaney, though, after finishing 36th, having the early engine failure today for Jeff Gordon. Still putting him in a prime position for the championship yet again. These guys can go out here and win the race, kind of trim the margin a little bit. I'm okay with it, honestly, because I know we can do well at Phoenix. We dominate and win the race like we're supposed to there. We just got to do what we're doing right now, which is running up here. I'd like to lead at least a lap at some point today and get 5 bonus points. These two are starting to slowly pull away, it feels. Johnson might be gapping Earnhardt just a little bit after he passed him, too. Few car lengths, at least. Yeah, and Gordon not going to get any laps led. All that hard work getting the max points day yesterday at Atlanta when Dave Blaney had a bad day, and now vice versa. Gordon having a bad day, even worse, actually. Think about it, he's not even going to finish 36 like Blaney did. Just a mere 34-point lead. Best thing Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson can do is at least keep themselves in mathematical contention going into Homestead, in case Homestead is another Atlanta for Dave Blaney. Can at least give them a chance. They're doing their job right now, running first and second. Dale Jr. looks like he may be pitting this time. We've had quite a few drivers pit already. And here comes Earnhardt. Johnson will stay out. Jimmy stayed out longer than anybody else earlier. So he may do that again. Allmenard in the 15. Cycling out right behind Johnson. It will be a 4-tire pit stop for Blaney at some point. Really going to try to stay out of the pits longer than Jimmy Johnson at the very least here. Oof. You're going to lose positions to cars that are pitting earlier than us, just like we did last time, but I think it's okay because we could get those guys back over the course of the race. It'll be worth the 5 bonus points. It's also worth it if a caution came out right now because that's going to trap a lot of cars a lap down, including the other title contender, Dale Jr. Even the fresher tires for Paul Menard were not really reeling him in at all either. Johnson looks like he may be pitting this time. And he is. And there was trouble off turn 4 that last lap, but we didn't get a caution for it. 5 bonus points for Dave Blaney. First lap led of the race for him. Let's go. So Blaney finally leads a lap here today at Texas. Just ran our fastest lap of the race, too, so we're making good time. 29.576. Running Paul Menard another lap down. So Johnson's a lap down right now. Our fuel light isn't even flashing red yet either. Rights only? No, it's going to be 4 tires. My lefts won't make it another run. Not at the pace all 4 tires are wearing out over the course of one fuel run. They're not going to make it. There's going to be 4 tires every stop today. Gonna stay out one more lap. We'll pit at lap 133. So this will be the second pit stop of the race for Dave Blaney. Everybody pitted under caution earlier, or under green earlier, and they're going to do the same here, boy. Oh, that slowed me down a ton. I had a big slide coming into the pits. Kind of hit that inside wall right as I was crossing the commitment line. No adjustments this time around. 4 tires and a full tank of fuel. All right. Yeah, we're going to lose a lot of time. That slide coming into the pits cost us just a little bit, too. It's okay. Ooh, was not trying to swing that wide. '14th. Don't. Every time I'm getting up to speed, I'm not at speed. The car turns too easily in the corners. I clip the apron. But because I'm not at speed, it's not spinning the car out. So we definitely got some time to make up. Jimmy Johnson leads the race. Dave Blaney was able to get 5 bonus points. Stayed out as long as we could. On fuel. Greg Biffle blocking a ton right now. 29.441 on the fresh tires. Fastest lap of the race for Blaney. Gonna get by Mark Martin for 13th. Tony Raines trying to get underneath of Joe Nemechek. That's not going to happen. I mean, Wrights would have saved time on pit road, but I wouldn't have been able to go a whole nother run on lefts. I was only doing that for tracks that I wasn't burning the left side tires off as much. Tried to get Biffle to blow the corner. Contact. Oh, man, I ran right in the back of him. That's weird he didn't go straight up the racetrack like they usually would. I couldn't have hit him any more square right in the middle of the corner. He got loose, but he just kind of held it right in the bottom lane the whole time. That was strange how he held his line. A little contact with Joe Nemechek. There's definitely quite a few lap cars between where Johnson's at on track and us as well. 29.436, fastest lap of the day for Blaney yet again. Blaney Biffle going to get by Joe Nemechek for 11th and 12th. Frank Franklin, thanks for tuning in. Might need a Mountain Dew to cover all 24 hours of Rolex. I don't drink pop, so I'm definitely going to make sure I've got my coffee in me. I'll be using all my Starbucks gift card that I got for Christmas, so all $15 of it on that day. I'm prepping. Oh, wow. Split the middle of them that time. Raines went wide, got into the wall. Biffle stayed low on the bottom after getting a little loose again. Blaney up to 10th, passes both cars. Another close call to get a couple more positions. Here we go, here we go, here we go. David Stremme right in front of Kenseth and Stewart. Don't do it. Stewart up the track into Kenseth. Not enough, though. Enough for us to get by the 17. Probably not going to get to the 20. He's trying to side draft him, but he was still enough. Had enough speed down the front straightaway to pull us. He's going to go wide that time. Again. And Blaney trying to get to 8th. For the embarrassment alone of covering the Rolex 24, I really don't want to fall asleep midstream, so I'm going to do my best. It would be hilarious, though, if I did fall asleep, like, miss the end of the race, and you're be cringy at the same time, but you're just watching me sleep. Guess you'll find out if I actually make it all 24 hours or not. I'll do my best. I'm going to have to change my sleep schedule within days before that. Like, I'm going to have to set it up to where I'm getting up within a couple hours before the start of the race. In the middle of the afternoon. Try to stay up a little later the night before. I'm just hoping doing that, it doesn't throw me off of my midweek work schedule. So I'll have that Monday off, but then when I go back in on Tuesday, and I got to get back up again at 4:45 in the morning, I'm hoping it's not going to be a suffering week at work that week. I'm up for the challenge, though. Four seconds off of the race lead in this 8th place position. Jimmie Johnson really starting to settle in now. Trying to make it back-to-back wins for Hendrick Motorsports after Jeff Gordon won yesterday. And again, if you missed it earlier in the stream, Jeff Gordon in the first 100 laps blew an engine. Somewhere between the first and second set of green flag stops in the race today, so he is out. Takes a lot of pressure off of us now. And I was going to be happy with the top 10 coming into the day, even if I lost the points lead by a few points to Gordon. So I'm still in that kind of same mindset where if we just get a top 10, not try to do too much. We're obviously going to extend our points lead quite a bit. I'd like to think either Dale Jr. or Jimmie Johnson's going to win. Dale Jr. keeps falling off. Every time I see him, he's further back in the field than what he was before. Jimmie Johnson in the middle of the race is really starting to take control. I guess of the four, I'd rather have Johnson win just because he's further back in points. What's insane is that Johnson could actually go from 4th to 2nd in the standings after today, with how this is playing out so far through the first half of the race. It's like they're side-by-side lap cars right in front of Harvick and Labonte. Actually, it might be lead lap cars. I think it's Dale Jr. and Dale Jarrett, the two Dales, the two DJs. Battling. We're still closing on Johnson, 3.5 seconds off the lead. Ground is definitely being gained there. First time doing the 24-hour race. As far as live streaming on the channel, yes. I never really thought about doing it before just because I thought it was too tough of a challenge. Never really crossed my mind to stay up for all 24 hours of it, but I don't think I've ever even, as a fan, stayed up for all 24 hours of it. I mentioned before on the stream, I don't think I've ever actually stayed up for 24 hours in a row, so I might be a little in over my head here, but I mean, I've been close many, many times, especially growing up racing. I mean, there were so many weekends during the summer. You know, I'd get up pretty early, especially when I was in high school. I'd get up, I was working at McDonald's, and I would get up Saturday morning. Had to be into work at 6, so I'd get up around 5-ish. Drive into work, I would work an 8-hour shift at McDonald's, get off at 2, and I'd go straight to the racetrack. I was still racing go-karts at that time. So I was doing that a lot. And there were some nights I was out of there at 10:30, and there were some nights I wasn't out of there until 2 in the morning. Anybody that goes to local short track races on a regular basis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just for some reason, the flow of the night is way more smooth than others, especially with dirt racing, because I have to do a lot to the racetrack. I would assume that asphalt races don't go quite as long more often. But dirt tracks, especially if you get a little bit of rain, like earlier in the day, you're not going to start until later in the evening. There were times that like hot laps wasn't starting until like 7 o'clock, and they were supposed to be done at like 5:36, and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be a long day. There's always that one class that the heat race that they're in would just be caution after caution, and caution laps don't count. It'd really throw you off if you already started the engine on like our kart or whatever, trying to get it warmed up, especially on a cooler night. So you'd start it because you're the next race, and then that race takes like way longer than you were expecting because there were so many cautions. Oh, Labonte Newman getting together. Caution. Oh, Newman upside down. Massive crash. Newman rolled it. Well, he definitely got, yeah, there he goes. He didn't actually end up on his lid till he got to the apron, but he got pinched. Rear wheels came up off the ground, sliding for a while. Then when he got to the apron, it tipped over. A couple other chasers involved there. Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth in it as well. I would imagine everybody's going to hit pit road here with the caution out, and yep, that will be the case. So another pit stop. In our third yellow here today. We did avoid it. Obviously, Bobby Labonte caught up in it too. 4-car crash, it looked like maybe 5. 5-car crash. Kenseth got a piece of Biffle. Might have lost some spots on pit road. Mark Martin and Casey Caden, who were behind us, cycled out in front of us. Still only a couple cars a lap down. That was our longest green flag run of the day between cautions 2 and 3 there. Went about 80 laps. Green flag is back in the air here at Texas. And we are restarting 5th, so that's exactly where we were when the caution came out. Was in 5th place. Some of the drivers in front of us cycled behind us, and some that were behind cycled in front. This car did not fire off well in the restart zone. A couple positions already lost here for Blaney. Little contact with Johnson. Jimmy might have gotten a piece of the wall off turn 4. A lot of lap cars slowing the lead pack down. Mark Martin is the leader on the restart, too. He's got a good run going. Lapper of Sorensen up on the high side. Everybody trying to stay glued to the bottom. Paul Menard, another lapper, up high. Newman's going to overdrive the corner again. We got a caution before it. Yellow flag is out. Was it behind us off turn 2 or something? I don't know where it was at. Debris, actually. Tony Stewart, debris caution. It looks like his hood probably flew off. Everybody was just on pit road. I would have expected him to repair that damage. But he did not. Or at least they didn't repair it enough. He's running mid-pack now, it looked like. No pit stops this time. Obviously, only went about 3 or 4 laps in between cautions. 4th yellow of the day here at Texas. Second most in a chase race, only behind Dago, which had 9. This is the first race they've had more than 2 cautions outside of Dega in the chase. This is the 8th race. That's how very little yellows we've seen late in the season. We're back to another green flag. Pass made for Jamie McMurray in the 26. And we got another yellow. Probably debris again, I would imagine. 5th caution of the race. Now we're starting to catch up to Dega because we're still only about halfway. Yep, more debris. Okay, so the first bit of debris was actually the front bumper that came off of the 20 car. That time it was his hood. There he goes. Kurt Busch and Dale Jr. ran it over too. And check their tires. I've definitely ran over debris in the EA games and cut tires because of it. Sucks when you're actually at the front and something happens in front of you like that, but you have to pick because you got a flat tire. Lap 172, green flag back in the air. Try to block a little bit more aggressively on the restart so I don't get passed again. Actually fallen from about 5th to 9th over the last 2 restarts combined. Nobody gets around us this time, though. Stewart's only a few positions behind. Jeff Green in the 66 out in front. We haven't seen a non-chaser win yet. We've seen several of them lead today. Kenseth Martin, Jeff Green are the 3. Green leading now, of course. Should stay the points lead. Yeah, it should. We're definitely in front of Johnson. I don't know. Yeah, Dale Jr. is behind me, too. So we cycle out in front of the 8 and the 48 through pit stops. Johnson was leading before this slew of yellows came out. And now we're at lap 174 at the line this time by. Still a couple of lap cars at the front of the field mixed in with the lead lap cars. Tony Stewart, who's hoodless, is right behind us. Without a hood and without a front bumper, he is there. All over the back of the 26 now, Jamie McMurray. Murray trying to block, and did, and makes the pass on Harvick. That worked out for him. He didn't go up the track like we've seen from other drivers. Oh, Blaney hung up on him. Gets a spot back for 7th. We are clear. Well, Jeff Green's still holding it down at the front of the field. I don't even know that he has top 10 speed. I have zero clue how he cycled up that far ahead in the running order. He had a pretty good stop. I didn't get up off turn 2 very well. I had that slight contact, the left rear quarter panel, Casey Kane. More worried about trying to keep Harvick behind me. Mark Martin's been looking to get this lead back for a little bit now. Blaney underneath of Dale Jarrett. Passes him for 6th. Kane and Newman now side by side. Casey trying to block contact between Newman and Kane, and up to 4th for Dave Blaney. Sadler's the only one up here that may be quicker than me. Blaney for third under Mark Martin. Got him. Did it for Dale. Thanks for tuning in. 29.389. Fastest lap of the race. I had a 29.2 at Atlanta at one point yesterday. No clue with how slow the car is. It makes you wonder what the leaders are running. Sadler up the hill, and here comes the 22. For second place, clear off turn 4. Good run right off the exit of turn 2 and looking for the lead down into turn 3. But Jeff Green going to cut it off. That's an aggressive line. Too aggressive. Oh boy. Trying to intimidate him, and I ran right into the back of him when he got a little loose. Try it again and not run into the back of him this time. There he goes. Got loose. Again. Blaney for the lead underneath. We got him right where we want him now. That time it worked. All clear off turn 2. Dave Blaney leads on speed for the first time today. He did lead during green flag pit stops through the second cycling around lap 130. Led for a handful of laps. That was it prior. We've had a rotational circumstance in which we've seen a lot of different leaders that have led for a decent amount of laps. So I'd say it's still pretty wide open to try to lead the most. We can keep this car up at the front of the field. Jeff Gordon be in the chase after Phoenix mathematically or out? You know what? That's a good question. It really depends on where we finish this race, because if we go out there and win Phoenix like we should, he may be out of mathematical contention. You're right. Sadler had a huge run. Goes to the outside. Too aggressive of a line there for the 22, although it worked out that time. Oh, a little contact to look like behind us between Martin and Sadler off turn 2. Sadler fights him off for second place. Elliott's trying to go for his third win of the season. He does have a win in his actual career here at Texas in that same 38 car for Robert Yates Racing. He'd be the second most winningest driver, only behind us this year, if he can get to 3 wins. Part of the reason he did make the chase. Got 4 drivers at 2 wins right now. Sadler, Newman, Harvick, and Jeff Gordon. If we're holding a lot of guys up. Just don't want to give up too much of the bottom. 190, and here comes Elliott Sadler again. There's a lot of smoke behind us that last lap, right in the middle of 3 and 4. Must have been somewhere pretty deep in the field. Green got to the inside of Mark Martin. Sadler's definitely putting a lot of pressure on us right now. His teammate Dale Jarrett's trying to drive up here. Jarrett only has one top 10 finish in the chase so far, but he's trying to pull out another one and maybe get his second win. See Dale Jr. a little further back, around 6th-ish. Maybe 7th. Probably 6th, I believe. Second time Sadler's gotten to the outside of Dave Blaney. If he gets there on corner exit, he might have enough straightaway speed to pass us back. So for that reason alone, we do have to cover the top. Now Blaney with a run, or rather Jeff Green. Kind of same thing as Sadler there, up towards the outside of the racetrack. They're just mirror driving down the back straightaway. Don't mind us just pack racing at Texas. Pretty much. That's what it looks like to me. Especially with some of the faster cars that cycled further back in the pit sequence, that they're starting to get up towards the front of the field now, like Dale Jr. is at the back of this top 5. Dale Jarrett in the 88 trying to lead for the first time. He gets to second. Oh, that was a big block. That opened the door up for Mark Martin to make the pass. Lenny trying to get back around Mark Martin. Off turn 4. Big run this time. Oh, wow, we got pinched. We got pinched big time there. Be careful not to wreck. Sorry, Dale. $200 laps into the race, 134 still to go. What a battle going on here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Mark Martin, Jeff Green get together. Blaney's in the lead. That couldn't have worked out any more perfect for us. No caution for it. We're going to stay green. Junior outright with the pass. That grass slowed me down quite a bit. I thought that maybe I was going to be able to keep my momentum up going down there. Maybe that was the way I could stay underneath him. John Fleming, thanks for tuning in. Lost volume. I break the mic. Is it game volume or is it like mic volume? Just a game. I'll adjust it as soon as I can. That was so dirty. Oh, that was an aggressive line. All over the white line on the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, Dale crowding us back. Flipped it because I thought I was going to slide up into him. I probably would have had him cleared if I just would have stayed in the gas. Let me pause it for a quick second. I'll get the game volume back. Hopefully. That's weird. Oh, I can't do that. Get everything back up and running. Just give me a quick second. I still don't know exactly why that happens every now and then, because this isn't the first time it's happened. But it rarely happens. There I am. There we go. Okay. I think I got the camera a little lower than I usually do. All right. Let's try this again. So let me know in the chat if it's working again. We're definitely within the window to make this race on 2 more stops. I think I'm going to short pit. Try to cycle out in front of everybody. Maybe. And take his line away. Wow, what a drive by Earnhardt to still stay in the lead. On second thought, I'm probably not going to do that. It crossed my mind that maybe I'll go a lap down if I did that. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. On second thought. Dale Jr. overdriving the entry to turns 3 and 4 again. And again, it's Dave Blaney trying to do everything he can to get by this 8 car. Earnhardt's got a strong car, though. And again, just able to get to the bottom of the racetrack and stay in front of the 22. It's all good now. That's great. Yeah, thanks for letting me know, guys. Oh. What a battle going on right here. It's running like half a lane off the inside. Obviously not enough for us to be able to get underneath him. And again, Blaney going to be able to beat Earnhardt to the bottom into turn 3. But can he clear off the exit of the corner, which he has not been able to do yet? This time, I probably could have been clear there. Okay, I am. Blaney's clear this time. See Jimmy Johnson catching up. Dale Jr. definitely got through traffic on the restart better than Jimmy. He actually restarted just behind him, too. But Johnson slowly, and I mean slowly, getting back through the field. To me, this has felt like a weird race. I don't know what it is. Probably because Gordon blew an engine early in the race, so now it's like the points, they still matter, but it did take a little bit of the contest out of it. I'm curious to know if that 48 car is going to make it to the end, too, just because they're teammates. Did Kenseth just blow up? Where'd he go? He didn't pit. Kenseth was literally just to my inside. Yeah, I think he blew up. That's the second driver in the top 5 that's blown an engine today. First Jeff Gordon and now back Kenseth. This time, though, Kenseth was in the top 4 and looking for the lead. I didn't actually see him blow an engine, but I noticed he wasn't in my mirror anymore. Looked like he was about to make the pass going down into turn 1. We'll see him coming up off turn 4. There he is. Done. And there was smoke coming out of the back of his car. Kenseth's still trying to finish 11th in points, which would be the best of those that are not in the chase. It also takes out a huge contender for a driver to win the race that is a non-chaser as well. Blaney trying to lead the most laps he can. Looking for any way to get those 10 bonus points in this race. Probably still trailing Dale Jr. if I had to guess. I'm assuming Dale's led the most. He definitely has been the hardest car for me to pass today. And we saw that when he was leading there moments ago. He might be going for the lead again here shortly as he gets back to second, passing Sadler. I was trying to figure out who that was in 4th because I was like, oh man, I can't see the hood sponsor of the car. It's probably because they don't have a hood. It's Tony Stewart. The guy who lost his hood earlier in the race is up in 4th. Doesn't make any aerodynamic sense, but he's here on a very aerodynamic and dependent racetrack. Mark the Mars, thanks for tuning in. Sadler is trying to make a late season surge. You know, with the Gordon DNF, maybe he can find a way to get a top 5 points finish or something. I don't think he's going to get in front of Gordon, but I think he could beat Harvick. He's outrunning him today. I don't think Harvick's led at all either. Sadler looking low. Oh, Blaney overdrove it too, as he sailed it off into turns 3 and 4. Sadler on the inside. Oh boy, little contact. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. I was trying to fight to get back into second. Didn't want to get freight trained. Stewart's up to 3rd. A little bit of contact there. Dale Jr. starting to fall back. Jimmy Johnson's up to 4th. Sadler up the hill, entering turns 3 and 4. Blaney's got him back. Tony Stewart going to be one of the first cars to pit road that time on the front stretch. We're definitely going to be able to go to under 100 laps left before the caution comes out. I know I'm probably going to lose time again staying out as long as I can, but I really don't want to catch a caution and get trapped a lap down. As much as I want to win the race and lead the most laps here, fact of the matter is Gordon's out. We just need to finish on the lead lap at this point. And with the speed we do have, we'll get a good finish. So we can just ensure that. At least that is in our control. Cautions and stuff that may be out of our control. Can't have control over everything anyway. Oh man, Sadler Sliding up a little early. David Stremme looks like cycling out of the pits down on the bottom of the racetrack. Oh my gosh. Leaning all over that 38 car. That's 2 laps in a row in turn 3. I'm flirting with disaster. I have a hard time trying to, like, talk myself into not overdriving the car in situations like this. It's so tempting to go out here and pass them when you have a run. A couple laps away from pitting. Sadler's pitting right now. That'll give the lead back to us anyway. So Sadler pits. Second to last pit stops of the race going on right now. It's our 4th ones of the day. 2 green flag stops and 1 pit stop under caution for the entire field. We have had 5 yellows so far, against second most in the chase. Dega had 9. Three incidences and 2 debris cautions to bring out our 5. Got somebody else blowing a motor. Paul Menard. 15 car, who was already towards the tail end of the field anyway, but Menard is now going to blow up and not make it to the finish of the race. I would imagine we have more than 3, but the 3 we do know of that will not make it to the finish. Paul Menard now, Matt Kenseth before that. We saw Jeff Gordon early in the race, obviously blowing engine also. Watch the fuel indicator, don't stay out too much longer. I do see it. It is flashing red. Stay on 1 more lap. We'll pit at lap 232. Four tire stop coming up for Blaney. We'll have 102 laps to go when we cycle off of pit road. Oh man, just ran out going into turn 3. We're not going to lose too much time, though. It was right before I would have had to start backing out. Still going to have to brake coming onto pit road so we don't speed. Alright. We're good. We're good, we're good. Probably going to cost us a couple positions. I stretched it further than I thought I was going to, but in the end, we're okay. It was a good spot to run out. That's going to cost us more time. Front tire changer having issues with the gun. Well, that's just not what we needed. Dale Jr. cycles into the lead, too. He was one of the first cars to pit road. Tony Stewart was actually in front of him and pitted earlier. Might have tried to repair more damage or something. Yeah, that was a very slow stop. 22nd for the 22 car. Got a lot of time left in this race, but it was a combination of the slow stop with the mistake. Staying out a little long. And running out of gas going into turn 3. that all culminated to us cycling out 22nd. Honestly, clean stop, didn't sputter on fuel. I'd imagine we probably would have been in the back half of the top 10, but we definitely wouldn't be this far back. I'd like to think that pit stop itself was just so slow. 8.3 to 8.4 seconds off the lead. We're not panicking. We still got 100 to go. And I have a top 10 car, so. We have a decently fast car. We can get through here. Still got one more pit stop left. Bill Davis Racing didn't have the best equipment for its time. No, it did not. We have definitely gotten way more out of our equipment this season than I was even expecting. But we're in championship contention. I thought I maybe could have gotten a championship just because I knew how good I was at this game, but at the same time, I did not think we were going to get anywhere near as many wins as we did. We're only one away from 20, which we should get at least one more win on the season at Phoenix tomorrow. I'm not sure on the start time for that stream. I kind of want to stream later tomorrow into the New Year's Eve midnight kind of scenario just for the hell of it. So we can see the new year together as we're dominating a Phoenix race. I'm not going to have to go into work the next morning until like 10:30 in the morning, so I'm willing to do the later stream tomorrow night. Pass on Michael Waltrip for 21st. Another spot just ahead here. Joe Nemechek. Got it, 20th. JJ Alien 19th, not that far ahead. And there'll be a little bit bigger gap after that before the next car. 7.2 to 7.3 seconds off the lead. It was 8 seconds when we first left pit road. There's a lot of drivers that are in those top 10 positions or so that really aren't that far behind Dale Jr. by way of interval. Last restart was about 50 laps ago from where we're at right now. Yeah, the only driver mathematically out of a chance to win the championship is the driver who came in 10th in points, which I think was Tony Stewart. I believe he was last. For anybody who's 312 points or more out of first place after today's race, they will be mathematically out of contention as well. Pass for 19th on Yaley. Should be able to take this fuel run down to under 40 to go before we pit again. We've definitely been pacing well to go over 60 laps. We left pit road with 102 to go. Already been out here for about 10 laps. Made up about 1.7 seconds of time over Earnhardt. I mean, Jeff Gordon definitely will after today. He'll be over 100 points back. Depending on where I finish, he could be more than a full race worth of points back, just like he was yesterday. Streaming schedule for the new year will be out sometime tomorrow. Maybe later tonight. Might have time to get it out tonight. Although it is 8 o'clock already. Haven't made an adjustment the last several laps, or last several pit stops. We did the very first stop of the race. I think I am going to make another air pressure adjustment. I mean, the car's definitely more free than it was before, but I'm going to try to freight up just a little bit more. Just try to get a little bit more speed out of it. I'll be a bit more aggressive with Gordon now. I don't think I'm going to be, you know, wrecking loose, especially with the last run not being a full run on tires. We'll have to go less than 40 laps. That's why I'm willing to make that risk. So we're only going to have to go maybe half a run. Jamie McMurray will be the next driver for position. Martin Truex Jr., Bobby Labonte are there as well. Oh, can't have that. That was a big moment for Dave Blaney right in the middle of 1 and 2. Left side tires were down on the white line. No more of that, yeah. That's for sure. I've clipped the apron a couple times before that, but I never really got that out of shape until just now. I know it's possible here, because I've done it before. Prior races. Other series as well. David Stremmy's not going to be for position. He's going to block us like he is racing us for position, though. Make the pass on him in 3 and 4. Sadler to the lead on Dale Jr. Jr. is now no longer in front. Is he on the... Oh, gosh, I thought that was him for a second. Kyle Petty in the 45 is the one blowing up. I thought it was going to be Dale Jr. because he just lost the lead. I was going to say, that would have been 2 title contenders in trouble already. Pass on McMurray. 18th. Kyle Petty still. Yep. Petty's just now getting to pit road. Should be getting about halfway through the field run here pretty soon. I've only made up 5 positions since leaving pit road. Not as much as I would have thought. I've already been out of the pits for almost 30 laps. About 25. About 5.5 seconds of time, though, that we picked up on Earnhardt at least. Slightly fresher tires. Just started a little bit too far behind for my liking, but it's all right. It's all good. I knew we were going to have plenty of time to try to eat back into it. .29.383, fastest lap of the race for Blaney that last time by as well. Oh boy. A little contact there with Mark Martin. So got him for 13th. Get my laptop on the charger real quick. Alrighty. Only 2.5 seconds off the lead, but we're in 13th. It is crazy that there's that many cars and this tight of a gap with the leader. You'd think we're shortly after a restart or something. Yeah, Bert's still blocking. Oh man, Jeff Green barely clear of Dale Jarrett. Up to 10. Blaney soaring. Tony Stewart to the lead. Please tell me he's still without a hood. That'd be hilarious. First time Stewart's led today, too. Last in the chase standings is Stewart. 29.379. Fastest lap of the day for Dave Blaney yet again. Burton's been blocking for a little bit now. Contact with the lapper on the outside. Opens the door. Blaney to 9th. Gets past. Gets clear. Jimmy Johnson is in 7th. Dale Jr. about to fall to 6th. Maybe 7th himself. Dale Earnhardt Jr. stuck on the outside. Kyle Busch going to try to pass him. Crowds him a bit. Wow, barely clear. Big block by Busch. Sadler leading still. Right around 70 laps to go. Actually, exactly 70 to go. 69 left at the line. Almost inside the final fuel window. Dale Jr. gets Kyle Busch back for position. Dave Blaney underneath. Dale Jr. falls Kyle Busch. Earnhardt's going to fall to 9th. Blaney clear for 8th up off the exit of the corner. Kurt Busch looking to the inside on the 7 of Robbie Gordon. Right in front of his younger brother. I've clipped the apron more times in the last couple laps. I probably have the whole race prior. I got way out of the gas that time because I didn't want to spin out. Backed Earnhardt up and lost some time to the Busch brothers. Greg Biffle now leading for the first time today. He started pretty deep in the field, too. I remember seeing that on the qualifying order at the top of the screen before I started the race. Like, he was at the back. Well outside the top 30, but good run for the Biff. Junior's losing time to the 8 cars in front of him. At the start-finish line, these top 8 are probably going to be barely over a second apart from each other. I mean, this is legitimately like a pack race here at Texas all of a sudden. Within a second. Top 8 within about 8 to 9 tenths of a second of each other. What is this? This is NASCAR, that's what this is. A lot of them are side by side, too. Blaney gets by Tony Stewart. Hugs the white line. Center of the corner, going to get by Kyle Busch for 6th also. Jimmy Johnson in 5th, 1 spot ahead of him. 29.374, again, fastest lap of the race for Blaney. Got a mix of lap cars that are also up here. One on the outside lane getting passed by several cars. There's another one right in front of the race leader, Greg Biffle, off turn 2 as well. Down the back straightaway, Dave Blaney is going for 5th, and he's got it easily. Biffle underneath the lap car. Looks like the 198 up here. Back-to-back 29.374 lap times. Remember, my fastest lap of the race to the same 1,000th of a second, 2 laps in a row. Newman caught up in that incident earlier. He was on his lid, and now he's in 4th. What a drive for the Rocket Man. Newman and Blaney get by Sadler for 3rd and 4th. Kurt Busch is looking for the lead potentially. No, he slipped up. And Ryan Newman's going to get underneath him. And Blaney follows to get to 3rd. Looks like the Rocket Man's got a rocket ship. And he's all over the back of the 16. Exactly 60 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Trying to get him to overdrive the entry to turn 3. Just not doing it. Oh, big block by Biffle on the front stretch. Flipping the apron up off the exit of the corner. Newman up the track, contact with Greg Biffle. They're both against the wall, and Blaney's going to get to the lead. With less than 60 to go here at the Texas Motor Speedway, the 22 cars back out in front. Newman was being Newman for too long, and he costed himself not only a shot at the lead, second as well. I don't even know where they fell. I mean, they're outside of the top 4 at least, because you got Blaney leading, Kurt Busch second, Sadler's third, and then Jimmy Johnson's now 4th. Maybe they're behind him in 5th, 6th, somewhere around there, if that. Both cars fell way behind. I saw your... Oh, geez, I gotta pay attention. Big wiggle. Oh, don't blow it. You might have jinxed it. It's possible. Moved himself. Yeah, they're not even in the top 6 anymore. Not Biffle nor Newman. A little towards the back half of the chase as well, in the point standing side of things. Sadler back into second as he gets by Kurt Busch on the front stretch. Said Newman wasn't moving right after that. He moved, yeah. I saw the comment. I didn't get a chance to read it. That's how soon it was. Between you posting that and him practically crashing, but we didn't get a caution for it. Billy Kramer, thanks for tuning in tonight. 51 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway this time by. Yeah, we got cars pitting here. Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch on their way in. Sadler, Johnson, Blaney, Chasers all stay out still. Kyle Busch back in 4th, also stays out. We're well within inside the fuel window to make it to the end of the race. This will be the 5th and final stop. Even if we get cautions, I don't expect anybody else to pit the rest of the way. We actually have quite a few cars on the lead lap. All things considered, our 5 cautions have been pretty evenly spaced apart today. Although if this does go green to the finish, it would be over a 100-lap green flag run, and that will be the longest green flag run of the race. Just able to clear those couple lap cars down on the bottom of the track just before entering turn 3. But they did mess up the lining of both Sadler and Johnson through 3 and 4. And they're still right out of the rear view of the 22 as they have fresher tires. So they're in their way. Lost again in college football 25. I'm 9-1. I'm 9-1. I plan on playing 2 more games tonight after this stream before I go to bed. Get some dinner first. Crash out somewhere between 10:30. 5-minute quarters, it usually takes me around 35 minutes to 40 minutes to get a game in. So I don't have the accelerated clock on. But yeah, 9-1. And I'm starting to blow teams out now. I don't want to get too cocky, but maybe this is the year. This is the year I'm definitely going to make the playoffs. The only thing is USC is undefeated too, and they're also in the Big Ten. So I really can't afford to lose to Ohio State, otherwise I won't make the Big Ten title game. But I still should make the playoffs with those 2 games I have left. I have Indiana at home and then Ohio State on the road. If I lost to Ohio State, even if I don't play the Big Ten title game, I only have 2 losses, and I am ranked number 1, so I should be in the playoffs anyway. I really don't know how I'm ranked number 1 when USC is undefeated still. It must be strength of schedule. I have played a lot of ranked teams. The only loss I had was to Oklahoma in overtime. Double overtime, actually. And I should have won that game in regulation. I kid you not, I was in prime position in field goal range at the end of the game. But there was like a 12-second difference between me just kind of kneeling it down to fourth down and kicking the field goal. They would have gotten the ball back with about, well, I would have kicked it off with about 12 seconds left is what I was kind of guesstimating. So I was actually running the ball, and I fumbled it running the football. So then that basically put it into overtime. Hindsight, I'm like, man, if I would have just taken the knee and just hoped that they didn't have like a Hail Mary or something the last 12 seconds of the game. But I was literally trying to leave them with no time, which is what I always do. But it just backfired. And then, yeah, we went into overtime. We both scored a touchdown and double overtime. I lost. Couldn't believe it. The 48-38 are in. Still got a few cars that are out on the track that haven't pit yet either. Blaney's going to stay out, though. I really think I can get the most laps led in this race. Or at least it's possible. And if I have a chance to do so, those 5 bonus points could be big. Especially if Johnson and Earnhardt are looking like they're going to have good finishes as well. We're going to get really close to 30 laps to go before we pit. Maybe a couple laps more than that. Maybe we catch a caution, traps a bunch of cars a lap down. Pit crew can't make a mistake on pit road this time, because it took us a while to get back to the lead. It's definitely going to have to be a clean 4-tire stop. Blowing out both games. I've gotten blown out a couple times. Obviously not this season. Yeah, I was 8-6 season 1, lost the bowl game. 9-5 season 2, lost the bowl game. And lost the Big Ten title game in both. It has to be my year. least got to win the Big Ten title this year. Just trying to improve every season. I mean, I'd like to win the national title, but I'm like right on the cusp of at least doing that. Like the first 2 seasons, I definitely was not the best team in the Big Ten anyway. I had the second best record in conference play. And the last season I had too, it was such an easy conference schedule. Literally the only ranked team I played against I lost. Like that was the only ranked game outside of Ohio State. Rather 39. 39 laps to go. Green stop, no mistakes, no errors. Fuel indicator just going into the flashing red. Get a pit at lap 300 then. Actually, I'll go 299 just to be safe. So we'll pit at lap 299. We'll cycle out with exactly 35 laps to go. And we'll run that to the finish. Still trying to figure out the tackling. I don't play good secondary defense on that game. Like, I can't switch to the players while the ball's in the air like I used to on the old games. Stick to the pass rush only. Blaney will be coming in. And again, there will be 35 laps to go, and he cycles off of pit road. Clean pit road entry. And he's down there. And we're going to add a pound of air pressure all the way around, so slight adjustment for this final stop. Try to free it up knowing that we're not going to be going a full fuel run and a full tire stint this time. So it could be a little more... Oh, and we did have a mistake. Rear tire changer just ran into the gas man. Back-to-back pit stops with a big mistake on pit road, which is going to make for a lengthy stop. Dave Blaney is going to fall probably out of the top 10 here by the time he gets up to speed. There goes 10th Mark Martin right now. Dale Jr.'s in 9th. A couple other drivers getting by. J.J. Yaley, Ryan Newman, Kevin Harvick. And we'll get up to speed in the middle of 3 and 4 here. 13th. We've got time to try to make it up. I don't think we're going to be able to win this race anymore, though. That was a very costly stop. 6.5 seconds back. Unless the adjustment made is going to make the car that much better, but we'll see. Definitely see it wiggling around a little more, but again, we only have to go 35 laps, so it's a matter of staying away from that apron, obviously. Opens the door up for Elliott Sadler, who is now leading to try to get his 3rd win of the season. And at least try to keep himself in mathematical shot of the championship. If he can be within 312 points exiting the race today, he's at minus 331 in 6th. So basically, if I didn't lead the most laps and I only get back up to third and Sadler wins, he will still mathematically have a shot at the championship. Obviously, he's probably not going to win the title, but mathematically, he'd at least have a chance with 2 races to go. Gosh, don't hit that apron. What am I doing? I'm digging hard because I'm trying to make up the time lost by the pit crew on pit road, but at the same time, we got to remember Jeff Gordon blew an engine earlier, so we don't want to throw this completely away. Especially Dale Jr. and Jimmy Johnson still in the top 10 here. There we go again. Come on. I think bringing the car up, it's making me more likely to do that than even before. 30 laps to go. That's right, yeah, Winter Classic coming on in a couple days. Always on January 1st. All those college football playoff games going on, too. It's going to be a big sports day, January 1st, like it usually is. Dale Jr. still fading. Big pack of cars up here, though. Most of them should be for position. Been over 100 laps since the last restart. About 120. I think we restarted at lap 181. 181, 182. Car's definitely free. We're not loose slow like yesterday. We're loose fast at least. Pass on Scott Riggs is not for position. Gosh darn it, man. That's like the 3rd or 4th time I've already clipped the apron since leaving pit road. I only left the pits 8 laps ago. About every other lap. Losing Hawks tomorrow. Mark Kevin Harvick up on that higher lane. Merging up off the exit of turn 2. Couple positions gain. Blaney to the inside of Martin also. And all of a sudden, Dave Blaney's back inside the top 10. Got Newman, Earnhardt, Kyle Busch, all right in front of him. Looking to the inside of Dale Jr. for 9th. Jimmy Johnson is definitely looking like... Oh, man, big block by Busch. I got out of the gas as soon as I saw he was coming down. I didn't want any sort of contact. Honestly, if I didn't cut him a break there probably was going to be contact. 24 to go. And up to 7th. Oh, speaking of contact. We're good. Now we're clear. Go down, block him into 3. Still trying to stay in front of Dale Jr. also. All over my rear bumper. I believe Greg Biffle is in 6th up ahead. Got Newman a little loose. Blaney will be clear on entry into 3 for 7th. All right, there we go. Still about 22 to go. Over 3 seconds back to Elliott Sadler. Still 3.2. We were pretty even with the 38 car that last lap. Fastest lap of the day, 29.348. Yep. $20 to go this time by. Just under a 3-second deficit. Big time lift right in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Greg Biffle blocking us. Big block. I had to lift on the front stretch there. What's that? I'm not clipping that grass and getting loose again like I did earlier. Pulled the Dale Jr. earlier. Well, he did it in the second kink in the front stretch. I did it in the first. Yeah, I saw Missouri won 27-24 earlier. Biffle trying to pinch Blaney down on entry into the corner, but Blaney's still looking to clear up off the exit of turn 2 and does. So Dave Blaney's now up to 6th place. Two and a half seconds off the lead. Free as this car is right now, it is getting slightly more and more free the longer this run goes. I mean, I did what I wanted to with it, just... I got David Stremme holding me up. Stremme's already multiple laps down. Oh man, we had contact there. What are we doing? Come on, David, I'm racing for a title here. Finally gonna get by. $14 laps left, still 2 seconds off the lead. Elliott Sadler just trying to hold on there at the front of the field. Couple of lap cars between ourselves and Jeff Green. I believe Green's in 5th, and you got Kurt Busch in 4th right in front of him. Tony Stewart in 3rd right in front of him. All those positions could be up for the grabs. Green actually now just passing Kurt Busch for 4th through turns 3 and 4. Only driver in the championship hunt that is in front of us is Jimmy Johnson. I believe he's probably the 2nd place car then, who is trailing behind Elliott Sadler. Lenny trying to get by the lapper on the back straightaway. Clears him into turn 3. He's got one more. He's closing in on Jeff Green now up to 3rd as he passes Tony Stewart. With Busch and Stewart side by side on the front stretch, they were really holding each other up quite a bit. Blaney looking low. Under Stewart for 5th. Got him. 11 to go at the line. Stewart still without a hood. They don't want to take the extra time to put another one on, I guess, while he's on pit road. He's rocking without it. Ten to go. This thing's just turning way too easily on corner entry. A little too free. Freed it up just a little too much. Probably would have been fine if it just kept it the way it was from where I last had it, to be completely honest. Oh, turn! I had to lift there. I almost ended up in the wall. Honestly, didn't think I lifted enough. Sadler's still trying to fend off Jimmy Johnson, and Johnson trying to get as many points made up over Dave Blaney as he can, and more than likely put himself to second in the standings as he tries to be the one to dethrone Dave Blaney late in the season. Johnson actually won the title in 2006, so he's just trying to replicate history. Reed Sorensen is that lap car that these top portion of the field are trying to pass. Another clip of the apron driving it off into turn 1. Blaney holds on. Looking to get to the inside of Sorensen into 3 and 4. Drove it in deep to get to the inside and does. Johnson trying that middle to upper groove. Sadler's slowing Jimmy up. Jeff Green, Kurt Busch, and Dave Blaney are all closing in on the leaders. We got about a 0.6 of a second gap between 1st and 5th with just 8 laps to go. And Jeff Green's going for 2nd, I think. Oh, no, he's too far back. I thought he was going to get to the inside of Johnson. Oh, boy. Stop flipping the apron, and Jimmy slides up. Jeff Green to 2nd. I want Jeff Green to win this thing. Who would have thought Jeff Green would have a shot to win here at Texas? Fastest lap of the race for Blaney. He's digging, but he's just not able to pass anybody. Looking low. Into turn 3. Kurt Busch shuts him off. Jeff Green to the lead, though. Blaney to 4th as he gets by Jimmy Johnson. Follows Kurt Busch to the inside of Elliott Sadler. Big run, looking to the inside. Sails it off into the corner, but then has to give up a little more in the center to keep from running into the back of the 2, and Kurt Busch has the lead up off the exit of the corner. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We got 4 to go this time by. Oh, Blaney slid up, middle of the corner. Kurt Busch leads. Blaney in 2nd. Johnson up to 3rd again. Jeff Green back to 4th. Almost love for Johnson to get back underneath us. Gonna sail it off into 3. Got him. Clear. Off turn 4. Kurt almost got against the wall. 3 to go. Green with a run. I didn't even see him pass Jimmy Johnson. But he got him. And now he's going for the lead again. He's there. He's there. Don't wreck it. I can't wreck it. Whatever happens here, you just can't wreck. Oh, man, this thing's a little too loose to run the top. Jimmy's just hanging on the left rear corner panel. Jeff Green might hold on to win this race. Jimmy's going to get into second. Blaney's clear for third. Sadler with a run. Jesus, man, I'm just getting freight trained now. I had a chance to get back down to the bottom. I was too patient. Oh, I got loose. Hang on to it. Oh, Kurt's upset. No, he's not. All right, we're good. And Jeff Green's going to hold on to win at Texas. Are you kidding me? I didn't like how I fell back to 5th that quickly, but we're good. I'll take him top 5. Big picture. I almost threw it all away off turn 2 on the last lap, but I was trying not to wreck, and I almost wrecked trying not to wreck for about the last couple laps. I'll take a 5th. Jeff Gordon DNF'd earlier, so we're good. Johnson's going to gain a little bit on us. Who led the most laps today? Sadler? 85? Yeah. Elliott Sadler should have led the most then. 85 laps led. We actually got pretty close. 62 laps for us. But yeah, Jeff Green, first win of the season, 12th different winner of the year. How about that? He didn't make the chase as an upset driver, and he's actually had a pretty abysmal chase, but he's got back-to-back top 10s, and he gets a win. First career win for Jeff Green. 20 laps led today. I didn't even think he led that many, to be completely honest, but great run. Jimmy Johnson second. Laps led. 5 bonus points. Big for him. 10 bonus points for Elliott Sadler. Finishes third. Kurt Busch fourth. 1 lap led. 62 for Blaney. That's 5 bonus points. Stewart sixth. Greg Biffle seventh. Ryan Newman 8th. J.J. Yaley with a top 10 in 9th. And Kevin Harvick in 10th. Dale Jr. really fell back there at the finish. 15th. Wait, did he lead the most? 84 laps led for Earnhardt. Oh, 1 lap. Dale Jr. was 1 lap led away from getting 10 bonus points, but he really fell at the finish of this race. Before we caught him, I think I passed him for 8th place. And he ended up falling from 8th to 15th in about the final 15 to 20 laps. And again, started on the pole, led all those laps. So, as far as the chasers that finish outside the top 10, no surprise Dale Jarrett's 14th. He's only had 1 top 10 in the chase so far. Dale Jr., 15th. And then Jeff Gordon, I think, was the only other one. And obviously, he DNF'd. And, in fact, he finishes last. He was the first driver out. Lap 85, Kenseth led 12 laps. He blew up while he was battling for the lead. Paul Menard blew an engine, Kyle Petty blew an engine, and that was it, actually. So the 4 we saw were the only 4 that did actually blow a motor. Thought more cars would have been out. Not the case. We usually do see more, especially at these 500-mile races, but not today for some reason. 5 cautions, 57 lead changes, second most cautions in a chase race, only behind Dega. 156.27 mile per hour average race speed, again, 3 hours, 12 minutes, 20 seconds total time on this one. Margin of victory for Jeff Green, only about not 1.99, but 0.199. Jeff Green pulls off the upset. First career win in the NASCAR Next Cup Series. Gets to fire off those pistols that Wade was talking about in the chat in Victory Lane. All right, so we'll check out the point standings. Going into Phoenix, 2 races to go. Jimmy Johnson should easily be second in points now. And we'll see how many points we have over him. Last place points and no bonus points for Jeff Gordon. The worst thing that could have happened for him today. He's going to fall from second to 4th. All that consistency. Top 5 in the first 7 races of the chase. The only driver to do that. The only reason we were ahead because we won the first 6 and he only had 1 win, which was yesterday at Atlanta. But yeah, he's 4th, 160 back. Dale Jr.'s 156 back in 3rd. So even he lost points because he was 119 back coming into the day, but we beat him by 10 positions. Canceled out bonus points 5-5 there. And Johnson gains 15 points on us with finishing second in leading laps. Again, 5 versus 5 on the bonus point cycles up, but he beat us by 3 spots. So 15 points is what he gains on us. We should win tomorrow at Phoenix. Our championship odds are very, very high with Dave Blaney. We don't know what kind of a car we're exactly going to have for Homestead. The car was still a little free today, and I did have more downforce than I had in it at Atlanta, obviously, yesterday, but I had probably a more grippier setup, honestly, even for today than what I had at Texas earlier in the season. I think it showed because we didn't lead any laps and finished 11th earlier this year, so it did help for speed. And we were very sporty there at the finish, even with a couple guys early like Gordon and Kenseth at DNF that probably would have been contenders also, but never had to deal with them. Yeah, we go into Homestead. I think I'm just going to literally play it safe and put all the downforce I possibly can in the car. Even if it's slower down the straightaways, because if we dominate Phoenix like we should, lead the most laps, win the race, that'll extend our points lead by at least 15 more over Johnson if Jimmy were to finish second. There's a chance we actually clinch the championship tomorrow at Phoenix, depending on exactly where Jimmy Johnson finishes. So we'll see. The very least, it's looking very likely we'll win the title at Homestead. Jeff Gordon blew motor today. I mean, honestly, it was kind of like the Tony Stewart portion of the Busch Series season when you think about it, because the Busch Series season with Tony Stewart, I mean, we were so tight on points there going into the final race of the season. I had to finish third or better to win the championship in the finale, and he blows an engine. Like real early in the race, like 30 laps in or something like that, while he was running in second, 1 spot ahead of me. And then Jeff Gordon tonight blows the motor while he's only 34 points back. I mean, who knows? Maybe he would have beaten us today and could have potentially cut into that lead even more. And then we'd be looking at, even with the dominant performance tomorrow, if he were to finish top 5 again, we'd have to go into Homestead at least having to get a top 10. It would have put some pressure on us. Not knowing exactly what we'd have there, but I think most of that pressure is definitely off. I'd like to clinch the title tomorrow just to get it over with because you never know what could happen, but I don't know that that's going to be the case. Like I said, it obviously is going to depend on where Jimmy Johnson finishes. Mathematically, if I just beat Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon, they'll be eliminated after tomorrow. We still got a modified series stream or two. So more on that, obviously, as we get closer to that time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't yet. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. And I will see you tomorrow night. Late stream for New Year's Eve. I'll post it in the community tab. Not sure exactly what time I'm starting it, but we're going to be streaming late. We're going to be streaming into the new year. I don't have to be at work the next day until I believe 10:30 in the morning again, like I did last week for the day after Christmas. So I can afford to do that, and we can celebrate the new year with maybe a championship in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good rest of your Monday. Almost forgot what day it was. I wanted to say Friday for some reason, but that ain't right. Have a good rest of your Monday, and see you next time.